The Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Pauline Tallen, United Nations and other stakeholders have called for increased women participation in peace and security processes in the country. They made the call in Abuja during a high-level convening on women dialogue and mediation in Nigeria organized by the UN Women. Tallen, while decrying the spate of attacks and killings, noted that women were worst hit by security challenges in the country.
Unless more women are brought to the table in mediation and peacekeeping, we'll keep going round and round. You can't keep repeating the same thing without getting results. There's need to try other factors. Try the women, try more women in mediation and peacekeeping, and I'm sure the difference will be clear.
Yes,
it has proven right in most of the African countries and the countries in the world. Nigeria cannot be an exception. We have women leaders in every community that will help the peace process. Women are tired. They are tired of this mindless killing. They are tired of having women and children being ones that suffer the backdrop of any crisis situation. It is unacceptable, and I believe if we involve more women, both at the local, state and national level, particularly community level, we will get it right.
Similarly, Mr. Edward Callon, UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, said different stakeholders had been engaged with a view to finding lasting solutions to ensure peace and security in the country.
We are extremely concerned because peace and security in Nigeria is not only for Nigerians, as I've said. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, is the largest economy, and peace and security and stability in Nigeria has a far-reaching implication for the sub-region and Africa at large. So, I mean, it goes without saying that if Nigeria prospers, Africa prospers. This is the largest market in Africa. Now we're talking about the African Continental Free Trade area. If Nigeria is not fully engaged in that, where are we going to have the markets in Africa for this? So these are the reality we have to put in sharp perspective. Nigeria remains a strategic country, not only for Nigerians, but for the sub-region and Africa at large, both in peace and in security.
Dr. Chris Kwaja, an expert in peace and conflict resolution, while making a presentation on assessment of the utilization of dialogue and mediation in response to farmer-herder conflicts in Kaduna and Plateau states, recommended support for sustained dialogue and mediation initiatives.
We also need to build and support a critical mass of women leaders in governance. We should go beyond peace and security to begin to look at how we invest in governance. You can imagine having a woman as Minister of Interior. What would happen to the role of women? Imagine having a woman as a Minister of Defense in this country. What would happen when it comes to women inclusion in governance? Imagine having a woman as National Security Advisor. What happens when it comes to taking security-related decisions with a gender lens, where inclusion of women becomes very key. People crying for peace, but none crying for justice, until we begin to look at how justice is used as a key catalyst and pillar for mainstreaming women in peace, governance and security, with a specific focus on how they can be empowered legally through the kind of assistance that exists, either through the legal aid council that we have at the state level or at the federal level too, or the Federation of Women Lawyers in the country that is very active and has been working hard, or many of the civil society organizations that are also in the room that have links with other structures for providing the kind of legal assistance and support that women need. It will be difficult for us to achieve our goal of mainstreaming women in dialogue and mediation.
For her part, Hajia Lantana Abdullahi, National Co-Coordinator, Nigerian Women Mediators Network, decried poor inclusion of women in conflict resolution, which she said had further compounded the security challenges.
We also believe that if the country has a dialogue and mediation framework, some of the conflict that we see today that is affecting our coexistence as a country, we might be able to address them. Take, for instance, what is happening currently in the Southeast. We think that if the government has invested a lot in dialogue and mediation, which enables conflict parties and actors to have a conversation to address the conflict in a mutual perspective, we might be able to make some difference. Take what happened in the Northeast. These are also things, situations that we think that the government should have adopted a non-violent approach for deploying dialogue and mediation to address this conflict. So I think as a country, largely, we have not been able to do so much in terms of deploying non-violent approach in addressing our conflict in this country. And we think that women must have a place in some of these conversations, in these approaches, to make sure that we deploy these important resources that we have within women to support the development of our country and ultimately the peace and security of the country.